Hello everyone, welcome to day 64 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. We're playing as white, so we play e4. My opponent plays e5. I'll bring my knight. They bring their knight, so we play the Italian. Here I'll kick the bishop. The bishop goes back, so I think I'll go to kick the knight. If he attacks my bishop, I'll go back. Instead my opponent goes all the way back. And here I'll look for this x-ray. Pinning his bishop to his rook. We can take his e5 pawn here. So now our bishop will be hanging. So we have to take his first, winning tempo on his queen. I think we're gonna end up losing our knight here, yeah. I can save my bishop, but I can't save my knight. How can I defend my knight? I could push, but then I lose my bishop. I have no way of defending both pieces. If I slide back, he'll win my knight. If I try to defend the knight, that doesn't even work because he just takes. I think we're gonna have to lose a piece here. I'll slide my bishop back. If takes, I'll push. But then this would... I'll push, but that will weaken this a lot, so then I'd have to play this. I can push here, and he has to move his queen. But then this will be hanging, so I have to play rook to e1 or develop my knight. He just takes actually, which obviously I missed. But I can put my rook on the e file here. And then I'll bring my other pieces. He's not attacking my f2 pawn right now, but it still looks dangerous. I'll just bring my knight. He brings his knight looking for checkmate, so I have to defend against that. Actually, if I go here, he can take here. Let me see. If I go here and he takes here, if I go here he can't take here, so there's just nothing there. If I go here and he takes here instead, he has a check, but I don't really see how he can checkmate me. He has this check. He can't take here, but he can open up his bishop. I think I'll just attack his queen anyway. If he takes this, I go here. Temper his queen. He can take on f2, which he does. I'll just step to the corner. He doesn't have any checkmates right now. We're actually almost threatening to trap his queen. I can't sacrifice my rook here. I just have to offer the queen trade. She accepts. He has knight c4 as his only move. He defends his knight instead. I can threaten to win the knight, or I can just double up first. I'll just double up before looking to win his knight. He still has knight c4 though. My position is terrible. I think d4 is a terrible move. It gave him so much activity. It's still my opponent's move. He has to be careful now to not allow me. So that just blunders this. So that's a terrible move for my opponent. I have checks coming. I'll obviously give the check. I can't double up right now. I think I have to aggressively look to open up his king now. He takes a pawn. If I take here, he could take with the king, but it forces a big trade. My piece is hanging. Actually, my bishop is pinned completely right now, so I have to defend that. I can't move my bishop, so I have to defend it. His bishop's hanging. Goes back to defend. I'm just trying to open up his king here. His pawn's actually pinned, so he has to be careful. He has to take with the pawn. I'm attacking his g6 pawn right now. He probably has to accept the knight trade. He sacrifices his bishop to win my rook, which is good, I guess. But I still have this, which actually wins the rook back, which is crazy. So now I'm just gonna try and win all his pawns. Give him a check and go back. He should take my pawn here. And he does. I still have my rook, though. And checkmate, we check my opponent. Let's look at this game. So yeah, we did have one blunder this game. We played on 82.6, my opponent on 82.8. Let's see. We played e4. We got the standard Italian. We kicked his bishop, which was good. Him going back was a mistake because he should have attacked my bishop. I actually should have sacrificed my knight here. Actually, wow. We had a clear fork here. Wow, we missed this amazing move, knight g6, which forks the queen and the rook, and he can't take the knight because the pawn is pinned to the king with my bishop, which was a beautiful move, which I missed. Should have looked at this move. It's a really hard move to see. I should have remembered that his pawn was pinned, so he can't really take this because he'd lose his queen. I'm really annoyed that we missed that. That's an amazing move. And this d4 move was terrible as well. This was okay, it wasn't terrible. This is a blunder because I can take his rook with check first. I'm not sure why he did that. He could have just given up the piece and slid out of the way. Instead I win his rook and his knight, which is actually wrong. I should have given him a check first. And after check, he has to block, and we can double up. And it will be checkmate very soon. Not much he could do. So we had a very fast way to checkmate, but instead we just took the material and slowly looked for a mating net. He actually sacrificed his bishop to win my rook, which is a good move, but then I actually have a way to win his rook back, which is by taking his g6 pawn, which is an amazing move, which happened by luck. Taking his pawns is best, then just looking to promote is best. And with 3 pieces on the board, we're not gonna lose, even if we sacrifice one. We'll just blunder one. And some moves later, we get checkmate. Let's find the second game. We're playing as black this time, and we get e4. I'll play the Caro-Kann. We get advance. So we know what to do here. We're trying to undermine his structure. Instead he defends. Takes with the knight. Which kind of forces me to, doesn't force me to, but yeah, strange moves here. If he sacrifices his knight. Okay, so he actually pins my knight. Oh, this actually comes with. So we don't have any checks on his king right here. If I have to block here, but my queen is hanging, so I have to get my queen out of the way, I think. I think I have to put my queen on an active square. But then he will have discovered checks on my king. I think I have to save my queen here. I don't see any checkmates that he might have, but he now has a discovered check on my king. I'm attacking his bishop. Actually, 3 of his pieces are hanging here, but he does have discovered check. He's up a piece as well. That's a fine move. I can just slide back. Oh, actually not there. Slide back here. If he puts tempo on my queen again, I'll have to just move. Now I have to take his bishop to prevent any discovered checks. This bishop hanging is really bad for him. He has discovered checks now. I don't really see where he can go. If he gives me this check, I can't even block because he'd just take. Defended by the knight. So I think I'd have to slide up here and block in my own bishop. So he does kick my queen. I'll just slide my queen up. Actually, oh, I think he has this now. It's a terrible move from me. He has knight e7 winning my queen. Actually, no, he doesn't. I take. So we're lucky, very lucky though. But we have to be very careful here. This check is actually really good for me. I think I win his rook with this check. So he has to be very careful. I'm actually threatening to take his bishop. Give him this check, which wins me a rook. And gets his queen off the board. And still, two of his pieces are hanging. That's a really good move. He gets out of the way and stops me from winning his rook. If I put my queen on h3, he has this move, which I don't like. But then I'd go back, so I'm fine with that. His knight's still hanging. I have to free up my dark squared bishop here. I'm still able to castle my king. His knight is hanging. I'm threatening to come in. I think he has to play rook f1 to stop me winning his rook. Because if I go here, this doesn't help. He gets his knight out of the way. So here he has to play rook f1. He just brings his king up. So now I think I have to take. I don't have any checks here. But I think if I'm able to kick his bishop out and give him this check, it could be good. My king is wide open. I have to be very careful. But his position looks bad. And after, well, I guess he can just go back. That's his only move, yeah. So we didn't have that much there, but I think now I just have to look to get my king castled. I think pushing e5 is a good move because it gives me this check. And I could potentially win the queen after e5, so it's a big threat. He looks for the queen trade now. And I think I unfortunately have to accept that because my queen will be getting trapped very soon. I don't have any squares for my queen. A queen trade just does not help me, so I won't accept it. And I think I will still play e5 looking for this check. If he blocks, though, it's a problem. I'll play it anyway. I'm playing e5 for this check. His king is weak, so he actually brings his pawn now. I can open up the center. This does blockade my bishop in, but then I'll be coming in with my other bishop. So my opponent still has to be careful here. This is a very weird position. I think he can just take, but then it come on with check, so that would be a bad move. This is a very interesting position. He can retake with the knight, but then I'd pin the knight to the king. Is pinning the best move, or can I go back here? I think pinning's an option. Gives me a check. I'll just block. I think I'll actually castle short in this position with my king wide open, but it might be my only good move. Developing my rook, connecting my rooks. This is pinned. He gives me that check, but I can actually play b5. Locking up that side of the board. Brings his knight in, which threatens me. But I think after bringing my bishop back, no, that doesn't help. That doesn't help me. What can I do here? Takes with the rook. I just don't really have a way of defending that bishop. I'm gonna have to lose it. I think I just have to allow him to take her. And I'm just looking for this check. Yep, so if I go here, he takes. And I think he does have checkmate. Can go here. No. King g4 blunders mate. But I can go only either king g4 or have to sacrifice my queen. So I don't really have anything here. I don't have any ways of blocking. King g4 is just checkmate, unfortunately. I have to give up my queen. Would check. Giving a check's my only hope. You should probably take this. If I give him a check and he moves away, it's check on my king. And that's actually almost checkmate. It is checkmate. My king has no squares. I have to play rook g8 and block. Sacrifice my rook as my only move. Our king's just in a terrible spot. There's nothing we can do. Bishop d1 is a great move. Because of the discovered check. I have to block with my rook now as well. lose the exchange, and they'll have a knight, queen, and rook. Well, so they actually just look to... which is checkmate, and we lose here. Let's look at this game. So we played the Caro-Kann. Here we should have taken instead of playing f6. This is a completely drawn position, but f6 is a much better move. Yeah, we should have just put tempo on his bishop instead of bringing our queen to such a dangerous position. We can't really accept the queen trade on the down material. Pinning the knight is best. So actually blocking with the bishop is bad. We should have just probably moved the king. King d7 wins us a knight. King d7, and we win his knight because it's actually trapped. He has no escape with his knight. And he has to get his king out of the way. Yeah, he has no checks here. He has to step his king out of the way or he loses his queen. Wow, we should have seen that. And the material is more equal now. Yeah, blocking with the bishop was a terrible move. We should have just moved our king up. Terrible move from me. Because his queen would be pinned to his king after rook e8. There's just nothing we can do. It's checkmate. King back was my only move. Bringing my king up was a terrible move. King down is still mate and a checkmate a moves. So, one win and one loss today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.